Slam.
Good one. Appreciate that. Thanks. Nice to hear from you, Larry.
Yep. Likewise, Madam Marie.
And just to let you all know, we are being recorded for posterity. So,
Oh, yeah, I see the red dot.
what we're going to do with it, but we are being recorded.
That's fine.
And I am going mute.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
All right. We'll give it till 5 after 6 and then get this party started.
Sounds good.
We got at least 2 others I expect to join. So
There's one caller on there, but the microphone is muted. Audio's muted.
Looks like only Danielle and I are muted.
Yeah, no, I
There's
got
a
a
phone
caller
call
on the
right down
screen.
here that's muted.
It's
Yeah, I got a caller on the screen,
652-7091.
there we go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, there we go. Hey, I found the button. Yep, I see that. Well, there we go. Hey, I unmuted them. Is that you?
Am I
muted?
Was that you, Mike?
It is. Thank you.
Okay, no problem. You are now unmuted. I bet I can unmute Danielle too. Nope, asked unmute.
Right.
Okay.
Evening, Mr. Bolio. Larry Brown here.
Hello, Larry Brown.
Right, you can't see us, but Peg Heard way up at the top. How are you, Mike?
I'm good. How you doing, hon?
I'm hanging in there.
Hi, Mike.
Good
It's
girl.
Humphrey. How are you?
Hi, Humphrey. I'm well, thank you. And yourself?
Good. Doing good.
Good. I'm glad to hear that.
Hi, Mike. It's Lisa. I'm the strange woman you met in the hardware store.
Yeah. Hey, Lisa. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm the strange guy that you met too. So.
Oh, somebody else joined by phone.
Oh, okay. Hey, I can unmute them too. It looks like those that join by phone are muted by automatic. I don't understand that. But who else did we just have join?
953
953.
3153.
I think it was set up, Tom, so they mute so it doesn't interfere if somebody dials in during the meeting.
That could be. It's I thought I had it set for. That must have been only for those joining by computer and not phone.
Yeah.
Hey, Lisa,
Yes.
can you spell your last name for me, please?
GAUTREAU.
Okay. Let's see. I have Larry, Peg, Humphrey, Lisa. Who else do we have?
Hopefully you have Tom.
Mike
Oh,
Bolio.
you.
Last name. Oh, Mike. Hey. Can you spell your last name again for me, please?
Sure. It's B as in boy, EAULIEU.
I knew that.
Yeah,
Awesome.
but vowels and I did.
All right. So I have Tom.
Did we figure out who the second person was? The third person to call in, Tom?
Not yet. No, you got Danielle there also, Sherry.
That's right.
Ouch.
And it looks like we've got one more country we haven't heard from that's calling in on a telephone. Could you let us know who you are? And maybe their phone's on mute. Okay. All right. Well, it is 6 minutes after 6. How about if we get our party started here? What in the world? Oh boy, that's what I messed up. Okay. Huh. Strange, okay. I'm looking at the agenda here and it did not format like I thought it would. But anyway, we pretty much already had a roll call of the sitting members. Members of the budget committee are myself, Humphrey Williams, Lisa, Gattro, is that how you spell?
Gattro, yep.
And Larry Brown with school board rep Peg Hurd. The board of selectmen rep, I don't believe made it. That's Erin Hutchins. I found out she was the rep about 10 minutes ago, 15 minutes ago. The water district rep is Justin. He is not here.
No.
Let's see, I think I got all the members. And we have a couple of prospective members that are here to put in their vote for the two open positions that we have. We've got Danielle and Mike are on the phone. We've got a couple other members that when we get down there, we'll talk about them. So we'd like to welcome Lisa to the board. This is her, she got voted in. This is her first round on the board. Woohoo!
Yes.
And let's see, I'm gonna reorganize the agenda a little bit because according to our bylaws, by April 30th, we were supposed to reorganize the board. However, we haven't had a meeting until May 26th. So I think our first agenda item should be reorganize the board. And what that means is basically we vote for chairman and vice chair for the coming year. The role of the chairman is basically to set the agenda and run the meetings according to rules of whatever rules we have adopted, which are in the bylaws, which we'll probably get to here in a little bit. And basically set the agenda, make sure the minutes get posted when they're supposed to, set when the meetings are, and all that fun stuff. I was the chairman last year, vice chairman the year before, and I will unfortunately not be able to take the role of chairman this year. I'm going back to school, and I found out that it is way more difficult going to graduate school than I maybe anticipated it would be. So I will open up the floor for any nominations for chairman. Okay. And
How do you want to do this, Tom?
gonna say I would nominate Humphrey Williams as or recommend him for chairman if he would take it. Would you consider that, Humphrey?
Yes.
Is there anybody else that would be interested in being chairman? And hearing a deafening silence from the crowd. And,
I just heard crickets outside, so.
Yeah. There's, according to the bylaws, basically only 3 of us on the board right now that would be eligible because you have to have been on the board at least a year to sit for chairman, to be the chairman, according to the bylaws. So that's basically Larry, Humphrey, and myself. And like Humphrey had said, hearing crickets outside, we'll open it up to the vote for Humphrey. If we could do a roll call vote of the members, starting, I guess we'll go Peg Hurd.
Aye.
Larry Brown.
Aye.
Lisa.
Aye.
Humphrey.
Aye.
And chair votes aye. So we looks like it's unanimous for the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 that we have. 5? Yeah.
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
So now for vice chair. Do we have any nominations? Anybody willing to sit to be vice chair?
Tom, I'd like to nominate you to be the vice chair if you'd be willing to do at least that part. It'd be nice to keep the transition.
I will second that because he really is the only other person on the board who can be a person.
Yeah. Okay, I will accept the nomination as vice chair.
Okay.
And I'd like to say roll call vote starting from my left, but I can't do that, can Actually, I guess Humphrey's the chair, so he's the one that gets to run the vote.
I'll do that. So I'll start with Peg,
Aye.
Lisa,
Aye.
Larry,
Aye.
Tom,
Aye.
and chair votes aye. So we've reorganized.
We have reorganized. Let's see, probably, Mr. Chairman, the next order of business would be to present the candidates for the two open seats. If I could beg your indulgence for just a minute to speak about the open seats and how that sort of works with the election.
Yep.
What we're doing is we're going to be voting in, nominating. We've got two open positions on the budget committee. We've got 4 people that had expressed interest in it. I believe 2 of which are here tonight. And so we need to, of these, fill the seats. Their term would run until elections in 2021. So if that's something they decided they wanted to do, they could run for one of the open seats that will be on the 2021 ballot. So it's not, so if there's a 3-year seat, for example, and that's the one they want, they still only get it until 2021. And then if they wanted to still remain on the board, they'd have to run in the general regular election then. That's actually what happened to me when I first got on the budget committee. So just to let everybody know that the candidates that we have are Danielle Marie. I had sent out earlier her letter of interest and resume. We've got Mike Bailey, former selectman, who's on the telephone. Dave Benedict, who had expressed interest, and Laura Ott-Turgan. I think I'm pronouncing her last name correctly. She was sent an invite. She was at our meeting on Saturday, but I don't see her here tonight. I did send her an invite asking her if she wanted to attend. So,
May I please have that last name again, Tom?
Laura Ott-Turgan. I will send you the spelling.
Okay, thank you.
I
I
actually
don't
have the spelling.
want to try and mess it up.
No, I have the spelling of it, Tom. So Sherry is capital O-T-T, and then the last name Turgeon is T-U-R-G-E-O-N. Hey, Tom?
Yep.
I did go, now I know we had trouble last year, as you know, because of the members we've lost.
Yep.
And we've been struggling to keep members. I did go and look at the RSA too. And per the RSA, we can have anywhere from 3 to 12 members at large. And if you do have to do it like we're doing here, we can actually have a vote of the committee first to have more than 2 added, but also so that you can stagger their times as to when their term will expire.
But I don't think the committee itself has the power to say we want 3 members or we want 7 members, do they?
The way it states in the RSA, it doesn't say we don't. It says that you can have 3 to. It doesn't say the numbers. It just in our bylaws didn't say the numbers either.
Yes, it does. It says 6 at large and 1 representative from the Selectmen, School Board, and Water District.
Okay, it did say 6 in the by. Okay, I didn't see that in the last change.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay,
So
so
if that's 1, 2, 3, if that's the case, we can only add 2. That's right.
yep. So
Okay. So we did change that at last year's.
I have a question about Water District, because I know when we changed our meeting last year, Justin can't come to this one, or this, whatever, the 4th Tuesday.
Yeah.
Obviously nobody else would be able to come either, so what do we want to do?
and there we can move the meeting to
Yeah.
we can move it to Thursday. We can move it to it will be up to I'm sorry, I'm speaking for the chairman, but
No, that's fine.
Let's be more formal since we're not necessarily visible. Mr. Chairman.
Yes, Larry.
Thank you, Humphrey. Speaking as the memory of the tribe, one of the reasons that it went to Thursday was to accommodate the schedule of one of our previous chairs, Bruce Woodruff, who was in thrall to the town of Moultonborough.
Yep.
A suggestion would be for the second Tuesday of the month. The reason for that is that the second Tuesday would give the town and school time to prepare the end of month report rather than us getting it while the electrons are still damp on the report. And I know that has been a problem, getting the monthly report and having to look at it in the same eye blink. So
I agree with you.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, Peg?
if we move it to the second Tuesday, we do not look at the report until the second Wednesday. So it will not be good because I will not have had a chance to really look at it, ask questions, blah, blah, blah. Is there a reason why the third Tuesday? Because that was where we were originally.
I think the reason we moved it, and right now, obviously, with the meetings the way they're going, that everything's in the air, but we were conflicting with the planning board at one point too. So I think maybe our best bet, and I'd like to throw that out there, is let's find out. I'd like to find out when Justin's available and find out what the best time could be. I mean, we have the ability, especially right now, to pick a day that's going to be conducive to as many people as possible.
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
yeah, this is Thomas. If I might make a suggestion, how about if I would recommend we settle the question about who would fill the remaining 2 seats, because they may have input into what day they would like to meet.
No, I agree with you, Tom. And so, all right, I know how we normally would do this. It's going to be a little bit different than voting by ballot and handing everyone that. So we need to, we can go one candidate at a time here. And starting with the candidates we have here with us. That makes sense to everyone?
Yeah. All right. I'll make a motion to, I don't know, what's the correct word? Approve?
Well,
Admit? Allowed to come on board?
Nominate, yeah, I guess.
Nominate, thank you.
Yeah.
It's like, bleh. Danielle Marique?
I will offer the.
Ooh,
I didn't do it.
Take it that was a second, Larry?
That was a second, yes.
Okay. So we have a nomination from Peg and a second from Larry Brown. So I'll take a roll. Any discussion?
That I would offer just a structural thing, which is all of us, Peg, Tom, Humphrey, and I, we all know how difficult it is and how really appreciative we should be for people who step forward.
Absolutely.
Right now, with everything so much up in the air, my preference, without prejudice, is for people who have had some laps around the track, like Mike and like Danielle. So just in general, that's the direction of my votes. And I just wanted to make sure that was just a structural thing. I don't know any of the other people involved, and no disrespect intended.
No.
So,
Okay, any other discussion?
I might ask if anybody has any questions for Danielle while we've got her here on the.
That's a good point.
I personally don't. I read her resume. I read her letter of interest. I think she has a fairly good grasp of the town budget process, and she helped put it together. So I don't have any questions for her. I don't know if anybody else might.
I'll speak up too. I know she knows the budget inside and out and how to deal with it, so. Peg, any comments? Anything else?
no, I haven't disagreed with anything anybody has said. I agree. And
Okay.
that's one of the reasons why I nominated her.
Okay, Lisa, any comments?
Nope.
All right, then I will.
Excellent resume.
Yes, she does. I'll take a vote then, starting with Peg Hurd,
Aye.
Lisa,
Aye.
Larry,
Aye.
Thomas,
Aye.
and the chair votes aye. Welcome aboard, Danielle.
Hi, Danielle. Smile.
All right, any other nominations from the three candidates?
I will nominate Mike Bolio for the 1-year term expiring March of 21.
I'll second that.
All right, discussion?
I might ask a question if I could, Mr. Chair. This is Thomas.
Okay, Tom, go ahead.
And a comment. Just a reminder that after we vote for whoever it is, they still have to go to town hall to get sworn in, or
Yes,
somehow get sworn in, whether it's one of the selectmen, the town clerk, what have you.
Right.
That has to be done before they're official members.
mm-hmm. I think we can do
Danielle's
that
got her hand
remotely
up.
too.
I am still AJP, so I can swear the next person in. I just can't swear myself in.
Okay.
But I don't have the material in front of me, so I cannot do that right now.
I don't think you can do it remotely, can you?
They
I believe,
changed the stipulations of it, and I have not been paying attention to it.
Okay. All
I
right.
think only as a result of what's going on right now that we can do it remotely. They're still gonna have to sign the document though.
Yeah. Yeah, it's still got to be signed.
Yeah.
Okay. But
If
anyway,
you're interested, I also happen to be a notary. Nobody ever asks.
okay.
I knew that.
I'm glad you just told me that, Larry, because I occasionally need to get stuff notarized for work. I did not
There you
know
go.
that. You were, Daniel. Anyway, if I might ask Mr. Mike Bailey a question.
Go ahead.
What direction, what do you feel that you can bring to the board, Mike?
Well, first of all, I have taken classes in budgetary, town budgetary issues. I spent 5 years working with budgets, and I believe that I could bring some, helpful contributions to the board and the town as a committee.
Okay.
Peg?
Mike, you
Yes.
mentioned town, and I know that you were a selectman. What about school? I mean, school budgeting is totally different from town budgeting, totally different from
Correct.
corporate budgeting. You have any info
Correct.
about that?
Well, I gotta tell you, I think the budget committee at the town meeting holds a lot of weight. However, doing the budget for the school is a tough one. We have a certain obligation to the kids and the students of this town
Yep.
to make sure that they get what they need. So I guess that's where I'm at on that.
Okay. All right. That's a very good starting point, Mike, because that is an issue. I mean, school budgets are, I don't know, they just keep going back and forth and all around, and we get a new student in with an IEP, and all of a sudden we have to hire somebody that's not in the budget. But you're right. Our obligation is, or the town's obligation, is to educate our children. So, thank you.
It's the law, Peg. It's the law.
Yep. It is the law. So,
Yeah.
thank you.
You're welcome.
Hey, I need to interject, Tom, for a moment too, before we continue. I'm noticing on my screen right now that we only have 8 minutes and 23 seconds on this,
I was just noticing that. I didn't realize
on
we
this
had a
meeting.
time limit on this particular version of Zoom that I'm using through school.
Yeah, so we're gonna have.
Wow.
Hurt here.
I thought Zoom released the time limits.
No, I
Yeah,
see it
well,
up
it
on the
does for
top,
certain
too.
meetings. It depends on the subscription.
It is
Well-
obvious my school subscription is time limited. I
We
use
can-
this because you had to dial in.
We can always just log back in.
Shall we then vote on Mike before he runs away?
Well, that's, I was thinking we could get our order.
Kind of what I was looking to do, Larry. I'd like to conclude some business before we lose this and try to get back in. All right, I'd like to call for a vote, starting with Peg.
Yes.
Lisa,
Yes.
Thomas,
Yes.
Larry,
Yes.
and the chair will vote yes. Welcome aboard.
Mike and Danielle.
And Danielle, yes.
Thank you very much, all of you.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, Mr. Brown.
I want to cut me off after a minute. What's happening is the town is getting hammered by expenses it doesn't know. The CARES money is expense money coming in it doesn't know. The school district is getting state and federal money it doesn't know it has and doesn't know what it's spent. We won't know a sweet blessed thing until practically July. We
Correct.
have in the past taken the month of July off.
Mhm.
What meeting will we accomplish? A meeting in June. I have no objection, but is it any use to wait until July comes when we know more of what is happening, particularly if the COVID virus kicks in again and things shut down even tighter? I think that was under a minute.
Yeah, it was. In all honesty, here's the thing, though, that I'd like to try to do to make sure we have something. I mean, we've got to get our 2 newest members sworn in. We're going to need to go. We're going to need to go through the bylaws and all that with them, or at least get this out to them. And I do know that, although Danielle, I'm sure you've seen some of the you've seen the town reports, but the school reports haven't gone out to everybody. So it would be nice to be able to have everybody have an opportunity to see those expenditure reports before we go too far. The July part for the school will be done. And then we'll be going into no, I'm saying that'll be June's the end of the year. We'll be going in, you guys will be transitioning to the new budget for next year while wrapping up the current one. But the town's going to be right in the middle at this point.
Yeah.
So I think having a meeting in June, I mean, I really believe it's critical for us to have a meeting to get people on board. I don't want us to suddenly get to September when we start working the budget without anyone having a chance to work on this.
Right, good point. The 2 things, we need to find out from DPW what the hole in the budget for road repair is doing, and we
Right.
need to know what the non-school, what is it? The virtual learning and transportation costs are doing for the school budget. So if Peg and Erin could write that down, that would be a real help to me.
Yeah, I think what I'm going to try to do, Larry, is I'm going to reach out and I'll also talk with Ernie. We need to get the latest reports because the report for May should be coming out. The last thing I saw from the town was the April 30th one that they had. And Tom, you were on copy when I asked a number of questions. We haven't gotten responses back yet. So I know we're going to need that before we go into the expenditure reports.
Yeah.
Oh, and I'm sorry, and if I'm interrupting anyone, my apology.
No, it's fine.
The other thing is the rate at which taxes is coming in. Taxes are coming in for the June tax bill. That's the other reason I was thinking of how important July is going to be. So any heads up on that, Humphrey, that you can work on? Thank you very much.
No, absolutely. And Larry, I agree with you. Normally we take July off, but I think we've already taken March, April, and most of them off. So I think we can work a meeting in.
We got 3.5 minutes, folks.
All right. Hey, what I'd like to do is just turn around. I think we're going to wrap this up by saying I want to get the bylaws out to everyone. Tom, I'd like to get with you afterwards because I know we got some minutes that we haven't even gotten posted from last year. So we need to get some stuff out to the team members.
Yeah,
there's only going to be 4 of us voting on those minutes from the last time too. So
yeah, we've got 1 minutes from last time, which would be February 25th. I talked to Sherry. We'll get those out. And I was rounding up the bylaws to be able to send those out. And that actually was really, given that we don't have the expenditure reports in fine shape for people to look at, that's really the only other 2 items we had on the agenda.
correct.
And thank you, Laura and David for wanting to step forward.
Yeah.
No,
Daniel.
absolutely.
And Peg, I see your hand up.
Yes.
My
Peg.
hand is up. Yes,
Oh,
please.
sorry, Humphrey.
Sorry,
No,
Larry. Okay, what I need, Mike and Danielle's emails,
Yes.
and I will have Nate send the reports to them. They are as of, but the latest ones that everybody else got were as of April 30th.
Peg, do
Okay.
you have mine? Because I didn't get anything.
Send it to me, please. Mike and Danielle,
Oh,
very easy.
Yes.
HURD@metrocast.net.
I'll forward you their emails, Peg. I've got their emails.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, all right.
Do that after
Yeah.
me.
Thank you. And I'll make sure that you guys get them, all the reports.
Okay.
All right, we got under 2 minutes.
No, I'd like to wrap up the meeting. I want to thank everyone tonight for coming to this, obviously. I'm going to send something out so we can come up with what's the best date to meet. And I'll try to get word from all of you guys. So I'll send an email out this week so we can try to come up with either it's going to be the third Tuesday. It'll be during the third week. Peg, I agree with you there. That makes it a little bit easier. We'll just have to figure out what's the best day during that third week, I think. Does that make sense to everyone?
Yeah.
Makes sense to me.
Okay.
Great sense to me.
Well, then I'll take a motion
I
to
so
adjourn.
moved.
Motion,
Motion
Motion to
second.
adjourn. All right, seconded.
and the chair has beaten the clock.
Thank you,
Now a
everyone.
minute.
I like this. Keeps the meeting short.
Yes, it does. Thomas, I'll give you a call.
33
All right.
minutes. Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you all. Welcome, Mike. Welcome, Danielle.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Night, Jim Bob.
Hey, Lisa, I'm going to
Yes.
text you.